check the audio and whatnot.
Okay.
Doody doody do.
Hello. Hello.
I believe we are good. The video looks good. It looks a little yellow, but that's because I have my candle screen or what the fuck ever it's called.
Oh, okay. I got you. I your audio's good. I'm just checking mine right now. Let's see. Yes. Yes. Okay. Everything's good. Hello. Welcome.
All right, we have a few things to talk about today. We have some topics left over from I want to say last week's podcast.
Yeah. Or the week before that, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't remember if we talked about it. Did we talk about the Doom 3 VR announced?
Yes.
Actually, I think it's out now. So there
We have talked
was
about Doom 3, Wolfenstein,
okay.
Coca-Cola.
We haven't talked about Coca Cola yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so we can take out Doom 3 and Wolfenstein then.
Okay.
Uh, Aliens Fire Team. We could talk about that.
Yes.
That is a game that I know about. At least I
Hmm.
think more than you do at this point.
I'd agree.
Uh, it is a three-person squad cooperative third-person shooter. Have you played Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
And you know about Killing Floor, right?
Yes. I played Killing Floor too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's like that.
Okay.
Like both of those combined.
But in the genre of
Aliens. Yeah. I think it said it's going to have 4 campaigns, at least on launch. And it takes place supposedly somewhere between Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection.
Okay.
So, I have no idea. I think it's considered canon because they do have a book that is a prequel to the game coming out.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited for this. I am going to get it. I'm deciding whether or not I want to get it on PC, Xbox, or both.
That's always a tough decision for me. I don't like to buy the same game for multiple consoles. Uh, but nowadays, with crossplay being a thing, it's
Yeah.
starting to become more worth it to buy it on multiple things.
Well, the reason why is because I am on the Aliens Fireteam Discord,
Uh huh.
and me and a bunch of other people have all promised to squad up.
There you go.
Some of us have Xbox and some of us have PC, and not only that, there are people within the Discord is like, "Oh, you can't afford the game? Oh, don't worry. The big brothers will buy it for you for being good this year."
That's the coolest thing about any gaming community that you can find on Discord.
Nice gaming communities.
I've had a couple of people gift me games through Steam
Mm-hmm.
just for the purpose of being able to have a squad, which is just crazy that there's just these people somewhere else in the world, and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, here you go, buy you like a $30 game or whatever, just so you guys can play together. I Squadrons, I pitched in to help someone get the game personally because I enjoy Star Wars Squadrons. I think it's a pretty damn good game.
Now, if only I could get Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
Yes, I just got that. I've been playing the Reach campaign and
Yeah,
crying
I
a little
know, bastard.
bit. I haven't streamed any of it.
I know, but still.
I thought about it.
It's like, I want to play with friends. That'll be fun. It's like that in
I played.
Gears 5.
I played a little bit of it with my older brother who has it on Xbox.
Oh, so wait, is it crossplay? Is it like
It
crossplay?
is. It is between Xbox Live and PC.
Pretty sure it's cheaper on Xbox.
It might be. It might be. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, we got a person in here?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple of people.
If or, that's not how I wanted to start that sentence. As a kid, it was always a struggle because I had friends that just had Xbox and I had friends that just had PlayStation. And I was fortunate enough, though, that I was one of the kids that had both.
You bastard.
Yeah. But it caused a lot of conflict, right? Like, not all of my friends could play together because not all of us had the same system at times. And we live in a day and age now where it kind of doesn't matter what you're playing on. And nowadays, you can even be playing on a phone with people online, which I think is bizarre. People that play on a phone is just like, kudos to them if they're really good at it.
Yeah, there are people who play Call of Duty on their phone. See, I was always the last person to get the console.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Like, my friend, like, I had an Xbox for a while. I had a 360, only I didn't have online stuff. And then eventually, like, I got a PS3. I was the last person in our circle of friends to get a PlayStation.
Wow.
Like, Parrish had one. That's how I played stuff. Like, I'd go over to his house, or he'd bring it over to mine. Slater and them. Slater is Parrish's brother, so yeah, they shared the PS3. But
yeah, that's how I met Parrish.
That's how we all met each other.
Yeah, which is just wild to think about.
I want to say we've known each other for better part of a decade.
Yeah, I would say so. I think I met Parrish when I was like 12.
I know that I met you through Parrish and Slater. And that was back on PS3.
Yep.
And then everyone got a PS4, as you know. And then it took me like over a year to get a PS4. Because, again, I was the last person to get one.
Yeah.
I played a lot of PS4 now that I think about it.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 is pretty old. It's like a 7-year-old console.
I mainly played Killing Floor 2.
Yeah.
I played a shit ton of Killing Floor 2. Like, not only that, but I also played a lot of Bloodborne.
I want to say that I met Parrish through a friend of mine.
Oh, God.
But that was years ago, and it's really wild to think that an online platform could bring people together, because we've never met in person. We live thousands, like at least 1,000 miles away from each other, if not more.
Well, I think, didn't you used to live closer? I want to say you lived in Tennessee.
No, I lived in New Mexico.
New Mexico, okay.
So it was closer to you guys for sure.
And also kind of far away.
It was just wild because, you know, at that time I was a young teenage kid playing online, and every day after school we would just be on Black Ops or on Grand Theft Auto, and
Black Ops 2 a lot.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 a lot. We played the ever living shit out of that game.
God, yeah, we did. Shit.
Just being able to like perfect our skills and get to like round 40. You know, that game you don't win, you just get a little better every time.
Yeah, we actually ended up getting good at multiplayer for Black Ops 2.
We started to do squads and stuff, or not squads, the ranked matches.
Yeah, ranked matches. That was fun.
That was cool, and something that I wish we could get back into.
I kind of don't, because I grew out of Call of Duty.
Yeah, Life is beyond that. Life is different now because we're all adults.
Adults.
We're all like we, Parrish has kiddos now. I have a job that I go to. Slater has a job. We're all busy people.
Yeah, I'm going to a therapist at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't have a job at this moment.
Yeah, we all kind of do our own life stuff, which makes it kind of interesting to like schedule out and set aside some time so that we can actually game and stuff.
Yeah,
I know Parrish is still very heavily into Black Ops or
Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
he gets on like every time he gets home. For the most part,
I don't know if Slater still streams or not.
No, he does not.
Yeah, I haven't seen a notification from him in a while, which is a little sad to me. I thought he was doing really well. Better streaming.
The only thing I don't have set up is the notifications because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I know Bundles streams. Mm-hmm. That's one of the people we streamed with.
Slater has like 80 followers on Twitch, which is just phenomenal. That's awesome. We've all been trying to get followers and trying to do things, which is just amazing to see one of us get so far.
Only to give up.
Yeah, I want him to get back into it. Maybe I'll start pestering him. Be like, hey, get on Twitch.
Hey, if you could ever like get an answer from him.
Yeah. He's in a relationship, right? He's in a newer relationship from what I understand. Yeah. And so, of course, that's probably where a lot of his focus goes, which is fine.
I know he's going to school. Mm-hmm. He's in college, so that's taking up a lot of time, I imagine.
Yep. So, makes sense.
Yeah.
But it has all kind of been our collective dream to be a content creator. I have on my YouTube channel, I have YouTube videos of me as a 13-year-old, which is just wild to listen to my voice back then. And to be able to see where I started as far as taking videos and creating content to where I'm at right now is really amazing because I've learned a lot. My videos they look a lot better. Nowadays, I do more streaming stuff because it's just a lot easier to do.
I don't have like the oldest videos I think I have on my YouTube are the highlights. Mm-hmm. You remember in Black Ops 2 where you could do the highlight things and upload them?
Yeah, the highlight reel.
Yeah, that's what I have on there.
I
think that's my oldest.
On my YouTube, I have 38 subscribers. And my oldest video was 8 years ago.
Mine was 7 years ago.
Yeah. Surprisingly, my oldest video is not the one that has gotten the most views.
My oldest...
It still has 290 views, which I think is really cool.
Fuck! Bastard.
Yeah. My second video I uploaded, I think, has the most views out of my channel. But that's a 7-year-old video, so it's had a lot of years to get views and stuff. And it has 413.
My very last highlight from Black Ops 2 has 55 views.
There you
go. Let's see. Then after that, I started to stream Killing Floor stuff. I had like 3 Black Ops videos, and that's it. Like Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
More Killing Floor. I attempted Resident Evil 6 again. Borderlands. Apparently that video is banned.
I've never
I'm like going through. I got a lot of Killing Floor videos.
Typically, I get anywhere from 2 to 10 views per video. So I don't get a lot of views. So it's kind of interesting to see what videos, at least over time, have gotten the most amount of views.
I'm out of all the out. I'm looking at the out of spite videos right now.
Hmm.
Uh, which one has the most views? I'm thinking it is the first one. Yeah, the first one has 21 right now.
I remember when Slater, I played this game called Paragon, or excuse me, Paragon, and
I remember that game.
Slater made me some like custom. Uh, I forget what they're called. This is how much my knowledge is, but custom like pictures, um, which looked super professional and just awesome. And then immediately after those two videos that I put up, that game stopped being a thing.
Yeah, I
Because
did.
they straight up removed it, and I was like, I loved that game. Why would you get rid of it?
Because you loved it.
Yeah.
That's why.
But ever since then, I've never had like a super professional cover picture.
I'd like to have one.
Yeah.
I'd
I've
like for
made
this to become a job. I'd like to start getting sponsors or getting paid, but we need more viewers.
Mhm. I've
Because
made a custom profile picture and a custom banner for my YouTube channel, which is really cool. But that's as far as like professionalism goes with mine. I would love to get sponsors and stuff. That would be amazing. If we could get sponsors, we will sponsor stuff and we will just talk about your product.
I'd like Aliens Fire Team to sponsor us.
That would be cool.
Now, I get a sponsor, I'll endorse your product. I don't really
Yep.
care what it is. Well, I take that back. Although Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. I've heard things about Blue Chew. Good things.
Oh,
my
God.
Kit Kat. This is my other cat. She's a little shy, but she just wanted to say hello to me. She's running away now. This podcast brought to you by White Mug.
What kind of coffee do you drink?
I don't know the name of it. I think it's called Landmark Coffee.
Uh,
I know what it's like. It's a hazel caramel coffee, and it is amazing. And I've probably already drank too much.
let's see here.
So,
We have some Aliens and Predator talk we could do.
yep,
Did you watch the Alien movies?
yes.
So you've seen them.
Hmm.
Slater has not.
Wow.
He owns them.
What the fuck?
I gave them to him years ago as a birthday gift.
Just sit down and watch them.
I
They're
didn't
not
just
bad.
I
They're
didn't
good
just give him the Alien movies. I gave him like the special collector's editions.
Oh my god.
Like the ones that I owned, and like he still hasn't watched them. And like the Alien series is a classic series, man. Everyone should watch them.
It's good. It's a good series. It's a good genre. I like the idea. I like the concept.
Like the first Alien movie was amazing. The scene with the chest burster, no one knew about it, so that was all genuine reactions.
Hmm. It was filmed really well.
Yeah, and of course there's the sequel, Aliens.
Yeah.
Such a great movie. Like,
But, what?
I thought you were gonna say something.
Mhm.
You said but, and then you just kind of
Yeah.
stopped.
All right. He should totally watch him. I don't understand why he hasn't,
Thank you.
especially during the pandemic. I'm sure he could do it.
I hope he watches this and he sees this part.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Slater, we're talking to you, buddy. Go watch the Alien.
Do you have a favorite
Movie.
Alien movie?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah.
Mine was the second one. The second Alien movie was the first one that I can remember seeing when I was a kid, and it holds a special place in my heart.
There's something special about those older movies and the way they did technology back then, or the way they perceived future technology would be like. That was very interesting.
Alien still holds up, like
You
to
know,
today. I can believe Alien.
they have some very 80s way of solving some scientifical dilemmas, and it's just interesting to see, and it
It's
makes me
believable.
wonder. It is. It makes sense. Like it could work that way, but we have obviously figured out a way more efficient way to do certain things. Um, it makes me interested for sci-fi movies that we make today, to see if we will even be accurate to what the future will be like.
Well, I find that Alien still holds up today compared to Star Wars, the original
Oh yeah,
trilogy.
Star Wars just. We had someone on our last podcast talking about black holes and Hawking radiation for Star Wars, and I was like, yeah, Star Wars has never tried to be super
They
scientific.
don't have that in Star Wars universe,
Yeah,
as far as I know, anyway.
they've never.
I think like maybe in a book there was something about Luke using the Force to like grip a black hole,
Maybe.
something like that. I think that is actually something. But what do you think of Predator?
Um, the Predator movies are interesting. I I don't know that I have a favorite though. I've played the that Predator game that came out.
Hunting Grounds?
Yeah, which was a really interesting concept. I don't think that it was done well though.
Do you like Predator movies more than Alien movies?
No, I like the Alien movies way more.
Okay, good.
The Alien movies are just, to me, they're more creepy of an idea.
If you said Predator was better than Alien, we couldn't be friends anymore.
I don't like the Predator movies. I don't know.
Okay, so
Something about being hunted by something isn't, I don't really care for that. But being trapped with something is more scary to me.
it says here that I was right there. It was in one of the novels.
Hmm.
It was in the Dark Tide Onslaught novel, and Luke, or it was either the novel or a comic, but Luke did manipulate a black hole with the Force.
Okay.
So, so that is a thing.
Yeah.
Gotta like Star Wars talk. We need to do that more often. We got something in here about new VR. I know you wanted to talk something about VR last week.
So I have the Oculus Quest 2 for my VR system, which arguably is one of the best VR systems out there. I say arguably because it's starting to get to the point where it's passing the Valve Index, in my opinion. Um, for those of you that aren't well versed in VR, the Valve Index is kind of like the flagship of VR in that it has full finger tracking capabilities, with a handheld controller. Where I think the Quest has the potential to beat the Index, um, is the fact that the Oculus Quest is standalone, so you don't need a PC per se to play games on it. However, you can play over your Wi-Fi on PC and get PC quality games, which I think is a crazy amount of immersion that you can get out of that because there are no cables involved. You're wireless in a virtual reality, which is amazing. And the Oculus Quest 2 has the capability to do hand tracking, so you don't even need a controller. Have they added a lot of games that have that support yet? No, but it's up to developers to add support for it. So the system itself can actually do that, and it does it fairly well, for the few titles that it has the capability to do.
Yeah.
They've also added a recent feature where you can do what they call pass through portals. So you can have certain things in the real world show up in your VR system so that you can actually do things while being in virtual reality. So, for example, I have my desk set up in it so I can actually see my desk while I'm playing games and stuff, which is really cool. And so I can type and do all that jazz if I need to. The other thing that they've added support for, which the Valve Index doesn't have, is I forget what it's called, but it basically has a detection feature where someone walks in front of you. It will show an image of a person walking in front of you, so your friends can't come up and spook you anymore because it'll be able to see them.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool. It doesn't work for objects that are smaller than, I think it was like a foot by a foot though. So like babies and cats and animals and stuff can't be detected by it, and anything smaller than that. But people can, which I think is an amazing quality because I have walked by my girlfriend while she's playing VR. She has walked by me while I'm playing VR, and we have almost knocked the shit out of each other. So I think that's an awesome safety feature. I'm more interested in the fact that this has full hand tracking capabilities, and I want video game developers to implement that because I think that is just wild. If you have ever had the opportunity to actually see your hands in virtual reality and interact with objects and stuff with your actual hands, it's insane. The immersion that you get versus holding controllers and being limited to those motions.
I'm like imagining gloves that you put on.
Yeah, no, this doesn't need gloves.
And I'm thinking of like in VR, you just put gloves on, and then that's your hands, and you can do whatever you want in the VR world with them.
Yeah, yeah, there's no need for gloves or anything like that, which is just crazy to think about.
Wonder how crazy VR porn has gotten.
Dude, it's pretty good. Um,
You would know.
Yeah, of course I would.
I do know that. Well, first off, I do know that VR was really worked on by the death-threatening scion capable of seeing through the illusionary world before our eyes, John Carmack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it makes sense because he's also the benevolent architect of the post-singularity simulation that we live in.
Pretty much.
John Carmack is a fucking goddamn.
So I'm talking about Oculus, which I believe is now owned by Facebook. I don't know for sure.
Oh, it is. John Carmack's the one who worked on Oculus.
Yep.
That's how I know about it.
Now, as much as I praise the Oculus and think that it is a system that is the best VR system, the people at Steam or Valve, they are creating a different type of VR system that is kind of sci-fi-esque because it integrates with your nervous system.
I'd rather not.
Sounds spooky. But they're literally working on the technology to do that.
That's the one you were fucking telling me about, the one that you said was like Sword Art Online.
Yes, that's exactly what they're going for. You basically put this fucking helmet on and you just lay down.
I'd rather not.
That just sounds wild. Way more wild than having anything from like Ready Player One.
Oh god.
Yeah.
What happens if you then forget what's reality?
Well, there are safeguards in place as far as
there are safeguards in many things that are very important in a lot of movies, and whenever they fuck up, we all get the brunt end of it.
Yeah. And Sword Art Online is also spooky because it kind of shuts down your nervous system, so to speak. So you're kind of stuck in that helmet if anything goes wrong. And that's what happens in the anime Sword Art Online. If you haven't ever seen it, so they're stuck in a video game world. Basically, they're forced to make it all the way through the video game. If they try to take their helmet off, or if someone tries to take their helmet off for them, they explode. So,
Yeah, that's
like,
what's gonna end up happening for us.
that's some spooky shit to think about. I like the Ready Player One idea where you have an omnidirectional pad that you're running on with like tethers or whatever. But
That's something that has been like an idea for years now.
mhm,
Oh God.
we lost our viewer.
I I also like think about Spy Kids 3D.
Hmm.
I think that was similar.
Yeah, that's similar to the Sword Art Online kind of thing.
God, fuck Sword Art.
Yeah.
Calling
So
himself the Black Swordsman.
it's just
Guts would kick his ass.
wild to think about that kind of thing. One thing that I really enjoy about VR is that real world experience translates to the video game world, which I've always wanted.
You know, until it
Uh,
doesn't.
I suppose so. But in terms of shooting, for example, I have been a professional marksman for 7 years now, and
Professional.
I'm professional. I have awards and certifications
Okay.
to prove it.
Okay.
But it definitely it definitely shows, because when I'm playing against players that like don't know a whole lot about guns or have only ever experienced weapons through video games, it's silly to watch them because they just don't know. It's funny. Like I've trained a lot on reloading, shooting precisely, and all that stuff. So when I drop a magazine, there's immediately another magazine. I'm charging my weapon, and I'm already down range. But somebody that's never played the game, like, or has never experienced a gun, they don't know that you have to push a button to release the magazine. Then you have to feed it into the gun. Some guns, depending on the weapon system, have like a bolt release. Some you have to use the charging handle, and then you have to get into the position to shoot. So it's just funny watching players that have never done that before fumble around. Whereas I see him, I feel more like I'm prepared for what I'm getting into.
I've
I,
met people in this state that I live in that
mm-hmm.
don't know their guns, and it shows. And
Know your weapon system.
I'm trying to remember what it was. It's a 223, and I want to say it was some kind of rifle.
Yeah, it's just silly to watch some of these people, and I definitely think that if you learn in the virtual reality world, I want to say there's some benefit that you can gain from that in the real world. Um, these these shooting games are crazy because they kind of teach you a lot of the finer details as far as shooting goes that I kind of like, which I think is cool. I don't think it'll appeal to everyone, and I'm kind of afraid that shooting games in VR are going to start going back to like a video game style shooting, which kind of makes me sad.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah.
just press a button and reload, rather than you have to press a button, grab your hip, put the fucking mag in, and then charge the slide.
Yeah.
I like that real world stuff.
Yeah, it was a Ruger Mini 14.
Mm-hmm.
And someone saw it, someone who thought he knew his shit. It's like, that's just an AR-15. Like, no, it's not.
Mm.
Like, hang on. Like, Google Ruger Mini 14
Mm-hmm.
and look at that and tell me that looks like an AR-15. Go ahead.
Mini. What am I looking up?
Mini 14.
Oh Jesus, no!
I know,
No way
right?
that looks... I'd be more accepted. I would be more okay if someone called it a carbine, but that's kind of what
Yeah, it
it
looks
is.
like an M1 carbine. And like he was like very adamant that that was a AR-15. I'm like, no, you dumbass.
Do you know what bothers me? If you look on Google and you just Google Mini 14, the fourth image that you're gonna see is a traditional style of that weapon system, and then like a modernized style of that weapon system.
Yeah, I see it.
And what confuses people a lot is that that modern style looks aggressive.
Well, it's not only that.
Um,
I know what that is because I know someone who has one, and what it is, it's a you put it under and over the original Mini 14. It's something like
um,
that. It's like a it's like if you had like a pistol and you wanted to make it into a rifle. It's like one of those
oh,
attachments.
okay.
At least that's what this looks like, and it looks very similar to one that I've seen before. This
These
one
are
does
these
look
are
like
two
it's a modified.
these are two different weapons. Um, they're the same caliber. They're the same type of weapon. They're two different guns, though. This doesn't have stuff that you put over. You kind of replace
Yeah, I know.
different things.
That's what it looks like, though.
Um, but it has some different stuff, of course. You have an actual pistol grip there, so it's more comfortable in the hand, makes it easier to shoot, actually.
Um,
Um,
this is a
Now,
tactical model.
yeah, yeah, and easier to shoot. I put that in quotation marks. It just makes it easier so you can manipulate the rifle, so you can like move it around and stuff. It has an adjustable stock, which makes it more comfortable for every shooter that can shoot it because everyone has different lengths of arms.
Yeah, and
Um,
the stock on a regular Mini 14 is set.
yeah, yeah, that's it. That's all you get. You can cut it a little bit.
Yeah,
You can modify it a little bit if you wanted to.
it's like a
But
hunting rifle.
yeah, with an adjustable stock, you can set that thing to wherever you're comfortable with it. Plus, this particular model has, some rails, so you
Yeah,
can add
Picatinny
a
rails.
scope. Yeah, so you can add a scope, you can add a flashlight. It looks like you can even add a foregrip at the front if you wanted to,
Yeah, or
and
a
of
laser.
course, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure there's another one on the other side. And of course, you can have a sling attachment, which you could have on the original model as well.
Yeah, it
Um,
has the thing on there first line.
Fortunately, I don't think we're allowed to show weapons, but
I'm not.
uh, yeah. So it's modern. I don't like the term tactical either, because that doesn't really make sense, to call something tactical. Uh, it makes more sense to just call it modern. And the reason being is because we have a lot of advancements that are more modern technologies that we have for weapon systems. To call something tactical, though, is a little different. In order to classify a weapon as tactical, is
It further down on
just a
Google.
second. Mm-hmm.
Further down on Google, there's an image, that like same image where the original one's on top and the newer one's on bottom, and it
Yeah,
says same rifle, just different outfits.
basically. They're the same. Can you be a little bit more accurate with the modern one? Yes, but that's because we have modern technology. Does it mean that it shoots better in terms of stopping power? I guess no.
No,
They
it's the
shoot the
same
same
caliber.
exact cartridge. It has the same stopping force as the one above. It's just more comfortable to shoot,
Yeah,
per
that
se.
that's all the new one is. It's just more comfortable. I guess new shooters would have an easier time with it.
Hmm.
But
Like,
again, it's still the same gun. It just looks different.
if you're an experienced marksman, such as myself, like I could pick up either of those two weapon systems and probably be accurate, just as accurate with either. Um, Now I would have a preference of which one I'd like to shoot because obviously the modern one is going to be more comfortable. But they're the same. You can get proficient at both.
Yeah, I don't really care which one I'd shoot. I'd shoot both.
Yeah. And I mean,
Although
slap
I
it.
think I would prefer the older version.
Hmm. And you can slap a scope on the older version too. So, oh snap, we got some more people watching. Hello, welcome.
I the one that I shot had a pistol grip.
Hmm.
It was modified like they aftermarket.
Yeah, which is basically what that modernized one is.
Yeah, essentially.
It's a weapon design that has been around for a while that they kind of just modernized. Look up one of the newer modernized weapon systems that I saw was a Thompson. Um, that looks good.
Yeah, I see. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at several different versions of a modernized Thompson submachine gun.
There's a few. Um, if you Google modern Thompson submachine gun, now to call the Thompson that you would get your hands on is not a submachine gun, but if that's your tagline, your search, one,
I just type in modern Thompson.
yeah, that will probably go better. But let's see, modern Thompson. I'll show you. I'm gonna look that up and tell you which one I was excited for. That right there, yeah. So it's fifth picture over.
Fifth picture over.
Yep.
Give me a second. Whoops! Shit, didn't want to open that.
Sitting upright on a tree there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. It's the it kind of looks like an AR-15 upper.
Yeah. So it's an AR-15 upper. That's not wrong to say at all. It is literally an AR-15 upper because it has a charging handle and all that stuff. It has all the other accoutrements that come with having a modern upper. The lower is also
it looks like a modified AR lower.
Yeah, it's also kind of an AR lower. I say kind of because there are some things that are different to it.
For one thing, it's a lot. I want to say smaller than a normal AR upper or lower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's shooting a different cartridge.
Yeah, for one, it's a submachine gun lower. First off, so it's going to shoot pistol rounds.
Yep. So the Thompson, I believe, is in 45 ACP.
Yes.
So it's a lot smaller bullet, for sure.
But not only that, but Google AR lowers, and you can see that one specifically looks tiny in comparison to a normal AR lower.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to Google it, but it still has a lot of the similar characteristics to a traditional Thompson, which I like. Like, they didn't lose the idea of the Thompson with that.
It's got a foregrip, and it has the wooden stock and pistol grip.
Mm-hmm. So it has the wood furniture, which is just awesome. It's modernized. It's ported and stuff like that. It has a nicer muzzle brake on the end of it.
Meaning that essentially it has railing system on it. It has a barrel shroud. It has an AR like internal system, meaning that the action of the gun is going to be different
than the traditional Thompson.
Because I
For
think the
example,
traditional Thompson, it was the action was from the top, wasn't it?
yep. So your
So when
front
you load
sight
it, you
post.
would do this on top and load
Yep.
and the bullets would come out from the top as well,
Yep.
or the
So
shells.
the front sight post is actually what you would grab onto to reload, and it's a non-reciprocating bolt, meaning it just doesn't travel.
Yeah,
Um, that way you could look through it and have that as your sight picture. Um, of course, with an AR, you just have one rail that basically goes the entire length of the upper, which you can do all kinds of different crazy things to. If you wanted to, you could put a red dot, a scope, um, an ACOG,
I
a
wouldn't.
holographic if you wanted to. Yeah, I like the aesthetic that the iron sights give it. It gives it more of that Thompson feel, just because the Thompson had just iron sights back in the old days.
Yeah,
But that's the advantage of having a modern weapon system, is that you can add those comfort things.
I still
Um,
wouldn't.
yeah,
Something about like a
adding
sight on a Thompson just. Ugh.
it's a weird concept. It just wouldn't fit the idea that the Thompson has. Um, Now that being said, you're going to be a lot more accurate if you do add one of those. Um,
But the Thompson wasn't originally used for accuracy. First off,
no, but a civilian is never going to be able to get their hands on
a Thompson was,
an
for the
actual
most part,
Thompson.
like a hip fire spray and pray gun, even though it had a stock. But if you, despite how like cheesy or weird those old school mob movies were, that's essentially how Thompsons were fired. You were just hold it and spray in that general direction.
Hmm.
Not saying you can't be accurate with it, but
Yeah, it wasn't really built for accuracy. Not the original one, anyway. This modern one will probably be a lot more accurate, mainly because you're using, an actual AR upper, which in of itself is just an accurate weapon system.
I'd say like if you want probably a much more accurate or different type of submachine gun, similar to the Tommy gun, the PPS H-41,
Hmm.
which is essentially just a Russian variant,
Yeah,
but it's Russian, so it works better.
it's well, the Thompson was not a reliable weapon system when it first came out.
No,
Um,
it was meant to be cheap and it was meant to fire.
yeah,
It
they
did that.
were notoriously not functioning weapons. They got better as they stopped making them, just to fucking pump them out of a factory. But that's the same for any weapon system. Like, um,
Not exactly true because oh, what was it? The Mosin Nagant.
that was never stamped parts like the Thompson was.
No, but they were like made to be pushed out of a factory. You were supposed to make them, and whichever one was more accurate, that's the one they put the scope on and sent it out as a sniper rifle.
The Mosin Nagant has three basic components, which made it able to be just shoved out of a factory.
But goddamn, if they didn't work.
They're good. They have their issues with the bolt, but that's because they were shoved out of a factory.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
Really good weapon system. They were
hey,
adopted by a lot of different people. There's a lot of Chinese variants now because of the Mosin.
I'd only
Um,
want the Russian one.
yeah, yeah. Even if you get your hands on a Chinese one, it was most likely a Russian weapon system at one point in time.
The Mosin Nagant is such a powerful rifle too.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that.
Shoots 7.62 by 50 something. I can't remember. It's a bigger version of the AK round, just a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
in terms of how much powder it has behind it.
The Mosin Nagant shot a 7.62 by 54 millimeter.
Yeah, 7.62 by 54. So it's pretty good. The AK shoots 7.62 by 39.
Yeah.
So it just has just a little less powder. It's still a pretty big projectile traveling down range, and that extra powder puts it right up there with accuracy in term like when if you were to compare it to an AR. Um,
Say what you will, man.
the
Those Russians know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, the AKs, they weren't necessarily built for accuracy, but that's
They
just
were
because of
made to have stopping power,
yeah.
and they were made so when you hit something, it goes down, and they were also made to be extremely reliable.
Yep,
And
very
that's what
reliable
they were.
system. No one can question how reliable the AK is, but the round just isn't as accurate um, at further distances or even closer distances. At 100 yards, it's not as accurate as an AR is.
That's the thing. It was never made to be accurate.
Whereas the Mosin they had accuracy in mind. That is a very, very accurate rifle.
Oh yeah, it was made. You give the most accurate ones. They popped scopes on, and those became sniper rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that were less accurate were given to the infantry.
Yep.
And that's essentially it.
Now, at that time, in terms of weapons that were used, the Mosin is a bolt action rifle, and that is primarily the weapon that was used from the Russian military.
Yeah.
And super accurate, something to be said about it for sure. But semi-automatic would just win. We just had semi-automatic weapons. Other militaries had semi-automatic weapons, but
there's a famous Russian sniper who would like to say otherwise.
I'm sure. But
in fact, there was a movie about him. It was Enemy at the Gates. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was. He had like an autobiography.
Yeah, if you have distance, that's great.
Yeah, it was Note
Short
of a Russian
message.
Sniper, Vasily Zaitsev.
Shit hurt. Yeah, they would definitely chop Mosins so that it could be used in trench warfare. That's one thing that the Germans, I don't believe, did with their Kar 98s. They kept it the original length the entire time. But I think the Americans won with close quarter combat in trenches because we had the Ithaca.
Yeah.
Slam fire 12 gauge shotgun with fucking Dragon's Breath.
Imagine being some fucking crowd in the trenches and some American bastard jumps down with a fucking shotgun with Dragon's Fire, starts slamming rounds into people.
Yeah, Dragon's Breath was no joke. They wanted to classify that as kind of like an illegal weapon system to use, an unethical, moral or unmoral weapon, and we told them that's fine, but you guys can no longer be using gas, because we consider that to be inhumane, and they decided they wanted to keep using gas, so we developed gas masks and continued using the trench gun. So I want one of those so bad. I would love to have a slam fire shotgun just because of the aggressiveness that thing has. You can shoot faster than a semi-automatic shotgun if you get good at it, which is just scary to think about. But yeah, I want one. I also want to get into manufacturing shotgun ammunition. That would be kind of cool.
I think this is again something we've already talked about.
Yeah,
I believe anyway.
yeah. I want to put some freaking magnesium inside some shells.
Marauder in our chat said he shot a Mosin. Shit hurt. Yeah, it's meant to. Even on.
Yeah, it's a big round.
Yeah, it's a huge round. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely put a hole in someone.
Yeah, they have a significant amount of kick. But there's also something to be said about that rifle, and why it has that kick is because it's an older weapon system.
Yeah, it was. So it was pre World War II and going into World War II that was used.
There's nothing helping you with that recoil in that weapon. You are feeling all of that recoil.
You had to put a pad on. You had to really lean into it.
Yeah, because that would kick. That would hurt. This is like a shotgun. There's nothing really helping you in a shotgun unless it's a semi-automatic shotgun. But then again, that introduces the one thing that weapon systems nowadays have developed to help you with recoil, which is just putting a freaking spring in front of behind the bolt, so that the spring slows the bolt down before it hits you.
Yeah, a lot of rifles now have some form of recoil reduction or another.
Mm-hmm. The AK has a spring. Pretty much everything that helps with recoil has some type of spring in it. Or a buffer system, like the AR has a buffer tube, which is just like a rubber tipped thing to help with recoil as well. I think AKs hit a lot harder than
oh yeah, AKs are meant to have stopping power. ARs are meant to maim.
Yeah,
but ARs are meant to destroy.
Yeah.
That is the difference between them. ARs are meant to be accurate and to be able to maim your enemy. And ARs are meant to, if you hit someone, you put them down.
Yeah. Yeah, both of these weapon systems are designed to do their job on the first shot.
Let's see here. What else do we have? Coca-Cola not paying drivers. You were telling me about those.
Yeah, so Coca-Cola has recently started outsourcing their deliveries, semi-truck deliveries, to third-party companies rather than paying their internal employees to do so.
Okay. Why?
It's a lot cheaper to pay a third-party company than it is to pay your unionized workers hours. So there have been a lot of protests, so to speak, done by Coca-Cola workers, where they are just not doing anything, and yeah, so that's caused a lot of turmoil, and we'll probably start seeing Coca-Cola shortages here soon. If you're a Coca-Cola drinker, you should probably stock up.
Oh fuck! I drank Pib.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for Coca-Cola, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that they'd rather source their deliveries to someone else.
Dr. Pepper isn't a Coca-Cola product, is it?
No, I believe it's a Pepsi product.
Okay.
Yeah. But that just kind of sucks. It's sad to hear about that kind of stuff, especially here in the U.S., where we think our workers are treated better than other countries, and we have stuff like this going on.
How the fuck did you hear that?
It's the general notion. People think unionized workers are safe and such, but businesses definitely hate them.
Jesus, so Coca-Cola is now hiring third-party drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't know how to feel about that. From a business standpoint, it's a good idea. You're saving money.
Yeah, I'm sure they're saving a shit ton of money.
But if you want to keep having workers, it seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. It sucks to work for a third party company. Like, I don't work for Dish internal. I work for a fulfillment company for Dish.
Yeah.
And that sucks for a lot of reasons. It's harder to get those internal jobs because companies don't want to fucking hire you in that position.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
you were in an accident.
Yes.
And is it a company truck or company vehicle that you were in?
Yes.
You know you could sue them, right?
Yeah. I've considered.
I would. You hit something and your airbags didn't deploy. That's something to worry about.
My issue with doing that is that I would be out of a job for a long time before I could get another job, and a settlement from that would probably only be 2 years worth of pay.
You never know. I mean, it might be something to look into.
Yeah.
If not the company, then the vehicle provider.
Chevy.
Yeah.
I don't think the airbags deployed because of where I impacted. The impact was underneath the bumper, and so it never crumpled the car, caused any of that to trigger any of the sensors that would set off the airbags. That being said, though, I kind of came to a complete stop rather quickly, so the accelerometer in the vehicle should have deployed the airbags, but it didn't. So,
trying to think. I had something else to say, but now I'm drawing a blank.
Yep.
Trying to think on whether or not this is a good thing for the third-party companies that are now doing the deliveries for Coca-Cola.
Gives work to their workers, which is good. And I'm sure they're profiting from it.
At least it's not Uber.
What's wrong with Uber?
No, like, can you imagine Coca-Cola hiring Uber? Like, calling in an Uber to come pick up the deliveries and take them out?
Tesla was trying to make Tesla semi-trucks.
No!
And they failed at their deadline. So did everyone else because of COVID. But they failed at their deadline, which kind of sucks for that company, and they lost a lot of shares. But they were going to partner with Amazon and other delivery services.
Did you watch Logan?
Like the X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
There was a scene where they had the automatic, like the semi-trucks that were driving themselves. Mm-hmm. And they just, like, ran Logan off the road.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine will happen a lot more.
Sure.
What if your Tesla decides that your destination is on the right and you're on a bridge and you just drive right the fuck off?
Any newer car, I want to say 2016 or newer, has the capability to be hacked in such a fashion that they can manipulate the driving of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So the idea that it's limited just to these electric vehicles that have full autonomous driving is not true or accurate.
I don't like the idea of
Hyundai Veloster can do that.
I don't like the ideas of self-driving vehicles.
Yeah, they're safer though.
You say that, but I just don't.
They've proven to be.
It gets struck by lightning or some shit and decides that it wants to go on a murder spree.
I mean, if you strike any computer system with lightning, it'll just reboot.
I don't care. I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of Terminator cars running around.
Yeah, Terminator cars suck.
All it takes is for it to decide that humans are no longer needed.
That's not how any of the current AI systems are designed, though. So we'd have
Yet,
to create an AI.
Skynet wasn't designed that way either.
Well, no, Skynet was designed to determine what was a threat, and it determined that people were the threat.
And it got
Because
sentience, and it made
system.
murder bots.
Yeah, and so it decided that you can't have any more crime without humans, which is 100% logical to think. That's where it's dangerous to implement those systems, though. Cars don't necessarily have a machine learning
Yet.
center where they can determine, whether or not they want to run people over.
All it's going to take is for one guy who designs this shit to go to look at it and be like, you know what, the cars need a learning program in it so they can learn as they drive.
They do, though, but about road stuff.
Exactly, but what if someone takes it just one step further? It'll be one step too far.
I don't, at least as far as cars go, I don't see how they could take it further.
Someone will figure it out.
It doesn't make sense to.
And then we're gonna find the one car that learned road rage.
Cars are designed to not want to hurt themselves, basically. And so running over a person would hurt the car, and the car doesn't want that. That's its primary goal, is to keep itself safe.
That's what a lot of shit started out as. I think that was HAL 9000.
That was what?
HAL 9000.
Okay, it's like a real world here.
HAL 9000 was an AI.
It just thought the world was going to end, but it didn't do anything about it.
I'm pretty sure it tried to kill the people there on the space station.
Getting back to cars and not space station stuff. Cars are designed to not want to hurt themselves, so they're going to do everything in their power to not get injured.
Humans are designed not to hurt themselves.
Right, humans think illogically, though. A computer system thinks that and that alone. It doesn't stray from that point.
It was made by humans, though.
To think 1 point only, which is don't hurt yourself.
I think don't hurt myself all the time, still end up doing it.
Right, you still have other thoughts that come into your mind that stray you from that point of view, though. A computer system physically can't do that because that's just not how the electrical circuits work.
Yet someone's gonna make a super advanced AI and it's gonna fuck us all over.
Maybe one day, but not with cars.
It'll infect the cars.
It's very hard for computer systems nowadays to think about two topics at the same time. We've gotten really good at making computers think about one topic super quickly.
Well, now I'm thinking about the AI in Alien Isolation game.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 AI.
Right.
And it has several jobs. The first AI is a director AI.
Mm-hmm.
It sets like it's supposed to be in this area at certain times and that stuff. And also, if the director AI is like, "Hey, we haven't seen the player in a while. Let's go fuck with him." And then its other AI is what makes it scary. Its other AI is made to give its companion AI hints on where you are. It's not meant to tell you, but it's meant to give you like a general area to look around.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, it will adapt itself to how the player is playing the game.
Right.
So like if you like to hide a lot in cabinets and stuff, it'll learn that that's what you like to do. and it will tell the director AI to like, hey, go search all the cabinets
Yep.
and shit like that. And that it's still no.
That makes it a more enjoyable playing experience, though. Because
Until
if you
someone
know cabinets
decides
are
to make a
safe,
robot like that.
I mean, if we implemented robots to do warfare, yes.
Technically, we're already doing that.
But the difference there is that you can't tell the robot where the people are at.
You can give them the general area.
Yeah. But the second AI knows where the player is at, though.
No,
So
I don't think so.
There's still an implementation that some outside source has to know where the player is at.
I'm still sticking to it. We're gonna fuck ourselves over. I'm not
Maybe.
changing my mind on this one. I do believe that AI, if humans
Maybe
don't
one day.
destroy us soon, it might be the AI that does it.
If we built an AI system that just wanted to keep people safe, then it would do its best to do that. But then we'd run into an issue like
That was Ultron.
No, we'd run into the issue like the freaking, I think it was Mama AI movie that came out, where its one goal was to keep people safe, but it did it by lying.
I don't remember this.
I can't remember where that movie's at. I think it's on Netflix. And I do suggest watching it. But the general idea is that humanity's population is running thin because they had a lot of wars. And so they created robots to kind of keep people safe so that they could keep humanity around, I guess. And it was like, okay, that's fine. So it would take care of human beings, but it would lie to them about the outside world and say that the outside world is dangerous and will kill you and you have to stay inside this facility, otherwise you'll die.
There's another show like that, and I'm trying to. It has Travis Fimmel in it.
That's an accurate viewpoint, right?
Yeah, hang on.
Because you're pretty fucking safe if you're just staying inside your home. There are still things in your home that can kill you, right? And the AI system doesn't allow those things.
Raised by Wolves.
Maybe.
It's a TV series.
Yeah.
And it's androids are tasked with raising human children on a mysterious planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of when you're talking about this.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see how a computer will determine that lying to a human is the best way to keep them safe, because it's pretty freaking accurate.
That's probably how it'll go down.
Life is about risks, though. Everything you do is a risk. So if there's an AI system curated to not allowing you to live, people, I feel, aren't going to want to live in that world.
Speaking of a world you don't want to live in, femboy hooters.
Ugh, God.
First off, I don't know what a femboy is.
So there's no such thing as chicks with dicks.
They're just dudes with tits.
They're just dudes with tits.
Where have I heard that before?
Ted.
That's right.
And so that's what I think of when I think femboy. It's a dude with tits.
It's a trap.
Yeah. And so I guess they want to make a progressive Hooters.
Is that okay to say? Am I allowed to call them traps? They're dudes who dress up girly. They're not. They're made to. I don't know.
Some of them might have the accoutrements.
All right, you need to stop. Still, the only reason I know about Femboy Hooters being a thing is because it popped up alongside Goth IHOP, which I'm
Why?
not against.
Yeah, why curate IHOP to be just goth?
Because I want to be served by, hot goth girlfriends. As,
Most people.
yeah, as all of the internet wants to do lately.
I don't think I've ever been to a Hooters, but I like the idea.
It's actually not that different from like a regular restaurant. It's
I'd
just
imagine not.
it's just the waitresses and whatnot are all wearing short shorts and tank tops.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to go to something better than Hooters, go to Twin Peaks.
I don't. That is. That
Oh.
sounds scary.
Twin Peaks is the greatest. It's like high class Hooters.
High class Hooters.
Yeah. I
So we can generally agree that femboy Hooters is a bad thing and that it would suck.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sending you a message on Discord.
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, this is Twin Peaks.
That is an upgraded Hooters.
Yeah. Oh, it's far better. Food's better too.
The food probably is. It looks better. It looks like good food. I'm hungry now.
I know. I'm starting to get hungry. How do we? Do you think you would be allowed to go to Hooters or Twin Peaks?
What do you mean? Allowed?
Well, you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
How does she feel? How would she feel about you going to a Hooters or a Twin Peaks,
She's fine
knowing
with me going to a strip club.
I don't want to go to a strip club? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah, but
care.
she's fine with me going to a strip club.
Really?
So I think she'd be fine with me going to a Hooters or a Twin Peaks.
She's fine with that.
Yeah.
Did she
I'm
say
okay
why?
with it. What was that?
Did she say why?
She did. It's kind of a demeaning point to men, I believe.
Okay, I'm curious now.
She believes that men are basically pigs. And so she's like, I can't stop you from doing stuff that's in your nature. So if you want to go to a strip club, you can.
Your girlfriend's mean.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
Fuck.
I was like, ouch, okay. Not
That
all
hurts
men are-
my feelings.
I know.
What if she went to the female equivalent of a strip club? Like a strip club, but it's just a bunch of, fit dudes
Fit dudes.
ripping off clothes and dancing.
I'm gonna have the general belief that most of those men pitch for the same team.
No, not really.
So that's what I'm gonna believe. So
Women don't have strip club etiquette.
what do you mean?
Men, for the most part, know what to do when they get into a strip club.
Yeah.
They know how to behave. Women who get into a strip club don't.
I feel that's because of
They're very
society.
demeaning to the male strippers.
I feel that's because of society.
Ugh.
It's less okay to touch women inappropriately, and it's more okay to touch men inappropriately.
What if she went to a femboy Hooters?
That would be different.
Really?
Um,
Okay,
yeah.
this is the one that bothers you.
Yeah.
If she went to a femboy Hooters.
My first response would be why. Now, I'm never gonna tell her she can't go to one of those. She's her own person. She can make her own decisions, and if she wants to make dumb ones, that's on her. But I'd be more interested in why she would go to one over the fact that she'd go to one, if that makes sense. So like I wouldn't necessarily care that she's there, but I would want to know why she's there.
Okay.
You know, is it because you're curious about the atmosphere, what it's like,
All right.
how the people are, or
Now-
are you like interested in that kind of thing?
What if it's reversed? You go to the Femboy Hooters. What do you think her opinion would be?
She'd be like, she'd probably be mean and say something like,
Is she
"I think you
there?"
We're always a little weird. No, she's at work.
Damn. I wanted to get her opinion on this.
Yeah. But
Now, what if you went to the goth IHOP to look at all the goth girls?
she probably wouldn't care.
Oh.
Yeah, she wouldn't have an opinion on it. She'd just be like, well, if that's what you're into.
I want drama, damn it.
There's no drama here.
I'm trying to think of what might start drama.
Relationships aren't all about drama.
Yes, but it entertains me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what I'm getting at here.
We don't have a lot of drama, I don't think. Oh, hey.
Hello from the UK
Thank you.
again. Can I just quickly say you're both looking good today? Also, I'm all in favor of any female touching me inappropriately at any time.
Right? That's what I was saying. It's more acceptable for a man to be touched inappropriately than a
Well, they're mean with it, though.
they're more they're more aggressive for sure.
They're more demeaning about it.
I don't know.
Thank you for saying we look good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Uh,
Thank you for tuning back in. That's cool. It's good to see you again.
I don't know. I'm assuming by what you said that you're male.
Well, he said his lit name last time was Ryan, I believe.
That does. I still. What if?
That could be a female's name.
Not only that, like we have to be careful nowadays. We can get in lots of trouble.
Let them be mean as long as they get my rent paid by Friday.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think this is a man.
Yeah.
If he was at a strip club, he would be okay with it because he's getting paid. And I think that's how most people in that field probably look at it that way. As long as I'm paying the bills.
Still, yeah.
But
we have to be careful with what we assume nowadays because we can and will get in trouble for it.
It's not socially acceptable to be aggressive in that nature towards a woman.
We're gonna start. We're gonna end up fucking up and like getting. We're gonna end up going back to the whole debate about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Oh God.
Which Johnny Depp's a treasure and he did nothing wrong.
Nope.
Fuck Amber Heard.
Yep.
I don't care how hot she looks.
Also, this is our out of spite podcast, so this one's a lot different from the one you joined in on, where we were just talking about Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, no Star Wars today.
Yeah, and once again, our videos are always on YouTube after, so you can catch the first hour if you want to on there. We also did notice that you subscribed, and thank you for that.
Yes, we do appreciate that. Hang on.
And looks like we got another individual watching as well, so that's cool. So Femboy Hooters is what we were talking about earlier, and that definitely sucks. I don't think it's a good idea.
I would be weirded out.
Yeah.
If someone took me there, I would be very much like, I don't want to get out of the vehicle.
Nope.
Take me back. Let's go to Twin Peaks.
You remembered my name. I'm 100% a man, 100% hetero, and 100% look good in pink.
Cool. We still have to be careful, though. I almost got in trouble for assuming the wrong pronoun once before.
can't just assume things, which sucks that we live in that world, but whatever. If you dress more femininely and I call you a female, probably.
I called someone the proname of her, and
Oh,
someone responded with, "Hey, aren't you gonna tell him?" I'm like, "Oh wait, shit! Did I assume the wrong pronoun? Fuck, sorry."
um, I don't think people should get offended when you say the wrong pronoun.
But they
I think it,
can, and it will lead to trouble for us, and that's
yeah,
the thing that I have issue with.
I think it's acceptable for them to correct me on my mispronunciation, misappropriation. um, uh, but I don't think they should.
They should be happy that I
Get
don't
offended.
call him it.
Yeah. Hey, you.
That's what I
Uh,
call a fetus, is an it.
yeah. So you wanted to talk about DC shows on the
Yeah,
CW.
yeah, those. So, did you watch any DC shows? First off,
I know which video you're talking about there. Um, that video was taken in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I actually lived there at the time when that happened. It
yes.
was
Oh, I'm remembering this now. It was that person who
yeah, it's man.
was very manly looking and wears female clothing, and was
So
yelling about "It's ma'am."
fun fact about that individual: they went to jail after that.
Oh,
For
did they
drug
really?
charges. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
they
makes sense.
went to what added more insult to the injuries that they went to a male prison.
Did you see what he look at what he said in chat?
Stop calling me sir. Bloke had a big
That's what's
probably. Yeah, no, they went to jail after. You can look that up.
Went
And they went to
jail for drug related problems. That
yeah,
makes so much sense.
they went to a male prison too, which I thought was hilarious because it's ma'am.
Yeah, they're the bottom in that relationship.
That was a hilarious situation that I thought was kind of funny.
I
that
bet
you
he
brought
ain't
up.
gonna be saying it's ma'am in prison. Until someone gets to him.
Someone's gonna be saying, "Get here, lady boy."
Yeah.
Heard you're into this. Um, jeez.
I still would have called him sir. I don't give a shit.
Well,
Here's the
here's the
I,
thing about that situation is that that person did not, other than the way they were dressed, have any other attributes as a female.
yeah, pretty much.
Wasn't she, him, shim? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just talking about that. They went to jail for that.
Yeah, like the drugs make sense. That explains that whole situation.
Yeah.
Like that clears up everything about that.
Yep. Um, that poor GameStop employee was just like he tripped up on it once, right? And said "sir" by accident. So I don't know if you guys have seen the full video or not, but there's not necessarily a full video per se. But if you look at the GameStop security camera footage, he had been calling her "ma'am" a few times before that, but the second that he said "sir" by accident is when that individual lost their shit and just said "it's ma'am" and like freaked out on him and then started yelling at him and saying that they were being discriminatory. And this is like some young kid that's the cashier, and it's like he's getting nervous and he keeps messing up on calling her. He's not trying to be mean, he's just getting scared because this individual is becoming violent.
At that point, it would have been like, I don't care enough about this store to give a shit about what happens next.
He threatened to take him out into the parking lot and show him a sir.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So
Does
like,
that mean like, was it gonna rape him?
I don't know.
That's
Well,
what I got from it.
they were gonna fight each other.
I did not get fight out of "I'll show you a sir."
Yeah.
I got
but,
I'm gonna whip it out and then I'm gonna make you my bitch.
yeah. Anyway, they were trying to claim that that person was being discriminative towards them, but that wasn't the case. And like the pink lady wanted to press charges against GameStop, but they fell through because of the fact that she threatened to physically harm the employee
in some way or another.
Yeah, and so
Choo.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on, DC shows. Did you watch any of the DC shows first off?
Yes, I watched The Flash and I watched Arrow.
Okay.
Those were the only two that I watched.
I have watched The Flash, I have watched The Arrow, I've watched Supergirl, I have watched Legends of Tomorrow. And
Okay.
Constantine and Lucifer, if those count.
Okay.
I stopped giving a shit about Arrow after the first 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it was the Dark Knight trilogy. So,
Yep.
I guess technically, if you want to get, it is technically recognized as part of that multiverse now. As because they did revisit the Smallville thing in, what was that? Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was it. So Smallville does technically count.
I think that
But so does Birds of Prey and the old Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward.
I think the issue with the CW doing these things is that they don't have the budget to make it good, and they also want to do their own take on it.
Well, here's the thing. The Flash started out good.
Yeah.
And then after season 3, it turned to shit.
Yep. Seems like after season 3, they stopped caring.
Yeah, like, first off, it was like the Iris thing where she's going, "We are the Flash." The fuck you are? You put on the suit and get out there then.
You're right. It's because it's about teamwork.
No, it's not. I hate how Iris-centric the Flash has gotten. Like, it's gotten so bad.
It's just weird.
When
they get into the multiverse thing.
I don't even care for that. I like the multiverse. I like what they did with that. I don't like what they did with Iris. I absolutely hated it.
That's one nitpick, though. Do you have others?
Legends of Tomorrow got weird. I don't really have an opinion on Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm.
And then Arrow, again, I thought it was a rip-off of the Dark Knight trilogy. And then I didn't like what's her name that he married in the show.
I don't know.
The computer nerd chick.
Adam West.
Yeah.
I know. Felicity?
Yeah, her. I fucking hate her.
Why?
She got so annoying.
I guess.
And they also domed Oliver down after introducing her.
Yeah, they did.
Like, he knew how to deal with computers and shit for the most part. And then they introduced Felicity.
All of his Arrow technology in his suit.
Yeah, and then, like, Felicity got involved and he's, like, dumbed down.
Yeah.
And then I hate how self-righteous they were.
In regards to what?
Every, like, sidekick that they brought in thought that they deserved to know everything. They get to decide what to do. Meanwhile, Oliver, who's been doing this for years, has more experience in dealing with these people, knows better. And they think that they have a right over him on what to do with the team that he started.
We'll see you later, man. Thank you for coming back.
Yes, see you, man. Good. Hope to see you again another time. You know, and all that stuff.
I don't know. He kind of started training all the other guys.
Like, around, like, season 6, 7, and 8, I believe, is where they got stupid with those characters the most, and I just absolutely hated them.
The only reason why Oliver felt the need to train these other fucking people is because that show was the first one to come out. So he has the most experience.
Yeah, and then there was Supergirl, which I just thought was a shit show.
Yeah.
I will say I do like Melissa Benoist, though. I have no problem with her.
She is Benoist.
Oh yeah, and then there was a Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I didn't have a problem with their pick for Batwoman.
Did you ever watch the Young Batman one?
Gotham?
Yeah, Gotham.
I watched.
Actually didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good.
I did. I enjoyed it for the most part.
A little weird to see these kids.
Yeah, like that didn't really make sense to me. Like, Batman was a man by the time he was dealing with these people.
Yeah.
Like in every iteration, so that was strange to me.
Didn't really make sense, but I thought it was well done. I also loved the actor for the Penguin. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I did too. Also, the actor for Ra's al Ghul in that series, he was spot on.
Yep.
I did not like the fact that there was a Harlequin, which is their Harley Quinn in that series, as that shouldn't happen until after the Joker gets put into Arkham.
Yeah, chronologically, it doesn't really add up.
Technically, the Joker shouldn't even be a thing without Batman being a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all the shows kind of went downhill after their like first couple of seasons. And they just got so shitty as time went on.
They all wanted to do their own thing, which just sucks. Rather than following,
They couldn't even do that right.
Anything that made sense.
Yeah. Something to talk about. You said Xbox One.
Yes, so Linus Tech Tips recently came out with a video saying that the Xbox has done a lot better and has been more successful than the PlayStation has.
Okay.
So, the PlayStation was claiming to have next generation storage and the way that they did it, and it was supposed to be so much faster than anything else, and it ended up being about the same. So load times, stuff like that, doesn't necessarily exist on those consoles, but Sony was claiming that it was going to be a completely seamless transition with no games having to load at all and being able to just have all the assets loaded in at once. But that has been proven to be false and isn't true. Furthermore, this is the first time that the Xbox has better components in it in terms of graphics and the CPU.
Well, the Xbox at this point is turning into a PC.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Both of these consoles are basically computers.
Yeah, but the Xbox itself is literally slowly turning into a PC.
So is the PlayStation 5.
I'm actually just waiting for no more PlayStation, no more Xbox. Just like one big company, and they make PCs, and every time they want to upgrade, they bring out new parts.
Yeah. I don't know that consoles will ever get to that point, though, because there's already an existing manufacturer for all of that.
Still, it'd be nice. I just like a PC, just update it.
Yeah. They're starting to become the question of why do we even have consoles if everything's basically cross-platform?
Yeah, at this point.
And the idea, though, is so that they can have exclusive content on their consoles.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So until it's not.
Yeah. It makes sense I guess, to some degree, but even then, we've had exclusive titles that eventually launch on PC, which is true. It's just how they get more money out of the same game, release it on another console.
Yeah, and then they'll keep doing that until, you know. Uh, Horizon Zero Dawn was originally a PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, it's on Steam now.
Yeah. The great thing about having exclusive content as far as consoles go is that you have these massive companies working on one title, so that they can just focus on that and that alone.
Yeah.
Which makes for some really, really good games. The only downside to that, though, is that eventually that game is going to be on the other console, or eventually it's going to be on PC, right? Usually.
Hopefully.
God of War, it hasn't. For example, that one has stayed exclusive to the PlayStation.
It's always been exclusive to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Not only that, though, Santa Monica Studios is owned by PlayStation or Sony.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of well, Sony owns PlayStation, but there are a couple of exclusive titles that solely stay on that console, and I think they're going to continue doing that so that they can actually sell consoles. Otherwise, you just wouldn't buy a console.
Yeah.
It limits your market and stuff like that, so it makes sense from a business standpoint to keep those games on console rather than releasing them for everything. I have the basic idea that if it's a multiplayer game, it's probably going to be on everything.
At this point, yes.
If it's a story-driven game, it's going to be exclusive to that console.
Okay, that's actually a good way to see it.
I just think that's generally where it's going to go. However, I could see Microsoft doing something where if it's released on Xbox, you can play it on PC, because they kind of already are doing that now. Like, you can control your Xbox from your PC and play all of your Xbox titles on computer, even the ones that aren't released to PC specifically.
I still haven't figured out how to fucking do that.
Yeah. The issue, though, is that you don't get the graphical performance out of the PC that you would if it was released for PC.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks in that regard. But newer titles, you'll get the same performance out of PC, if not better.
Yeah, I still have no idea how to play my Xbox on my PC.
Well, that doesn't work with multiplayer games.
I know, but I have games that I'd like to play on PC instead of Xbox. And I'd rather not have to buy them again.
Right. It's called the Xbox Console Companion, I believe.
Yeah, I know, I have that.
And it should come with Windows 10.
Yeah, hang on. There it is.
They're trying to make it better. I have the Xbox Game Bar that I use on PC when I'm playing with my Xbox buddies. So what's this DMX Ode?
OD'd.
OD'd?
Yeah. It's essentially that. He's DMX recently OD'd, is in critical condition.
And that's a rapper?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hey, you know, DMX. X gonna give it to you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was something I just learned, like, recently. Like, once I put it up there, that's, like, when I learned.
He's a little up there in age.
Yeah, he's in his 50s, I think. Yeah, he's 50.
Yep.
probably shouldn't be doing drugs anymore.
Probably not.
They said overdose is a medical illness and not a moral failing.
Sometimes. No, I don't know. Drug abuse is a medical condition, I guess.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is a moral failing as well. You chose to do the drugs, and that's what got you addicted to it.
Originally.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, it's less of your choice.
At that point, it starts off as a moral failing, and then it's a mental illness at that point, not a medical illness. It's mental.
Yeah, I would agree that it's a mental illness after that point.
Yeah.
And I mean, your body physically wants to have that substance
because it's got so used to it.
Mm-hmm. It starts to
it learned that it has to rely on it now. Otherwise, that's why when you go through withdrawals, you get really shaky, you get sweaty, you get sick. It's because you don't have that substance anymore.
Okay. Yep.
What did he overdose on? Yeah, it just says drug overdose.
I've overdosed on oxygen. No.
Oh, shit.
Did you know that 100% of people that drink water die?
You need to stop, sir. Let's see here. You have something in here about YouTube.
Yeah, so YouTube and other platforms that have their base application and then a kids version.
Yeah, okay.
I have an issue with them modifying their base application to make it more kid friendly.
You know, there's actually something a little funny about this now that you bring it up. It's kind of in the realm of what you're talking about, but also different. There's a band that I occasionally listen to called One Eyed Doll.
Uh-huh.
And they're a rock band. They're really good. I like them. And you know the minimize thing to where you can scroll it down. It's just at the bottom of your YouTube app so you can continue looking through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It says, we cannot, YouTube does not minimize kid-friendly videos. I'm like,
really?
Yeah. Like, let me see it. I'll pull it up real quick because it is rather funny.
Don't minimize kids' videos. Why?
I don't know.
And
it's weird because one of their songs called "Be My Friend," it's literally a song about a serial killer.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna turn my volume down, but here it is playing, as you can see, right?
Yeah.
Mini player is off for videos made for kids.
Why?
I don't know, but that's what it said right there.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah, so now you know.
Again, why are they curating YouTube?
I seem to remember that weird, like, video with Elsa and Spider-Man that had, like, sexual stuff on it that was for kids.
Sometimes the algorithm's weird.
Yeah, that's what it was. They fucked with the algorithm so they could put up their softcore porn.
Yep. It's just buzzwords, basically. That's how the algorithm works. But, stop doing it. It's killing content creators. If I have to fucking label my stuff as not being kid-friendly, right? And then I say some not kid-friendly shit and you fucking decide to come at me for it, that's ridiculous. because I very clearly had it set that it's not for kids to view.
Yeah. Although they're
It's
gonna
not
go
my
through your shit anyway.
they're gonna go for my stuff anyway. It's
I
not my fault that the kiddo decided to watch my fucking video.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my
Um,
fault that they decided to watch it and lie about their age like everyone else does.
yeah, I told them and was upfront with them about the explicit content that is about to be shown and discussed.
Yet my channel, it has like this channel has been indicated by the streamer to be mature for mature
Yeah,
audiences. Continue.
yeah. You have to physically make the decision to watch my shit.
Yeah.
So,
It's the
stop
fucking YouTube
curating.
Nazi bots.
Yeah. Stop curating it for fucking kids. There are kid services that they can use and should use. And if the fucking parent doesn't want to go through the effort to make them a kid account or whatever, then that's on the fucking parent. And that's still not on me as a content creator.
Yeah. I don't control what your fucking kid watches.
Yeah. You know, if I drop a fucking F-bomb.
And today, kids, we're going to learn where the G spot is.
Yeah. You know, it's about 3 inches in.
Moving on.
But, like, what the fuck, man? It's ridiculous. Grow a pair. I remember the fucking Xbox fucking chat system back in the day was god awful.
Modern Warfare 2 chat lobbies.
Jesus Christ. The amount of fucking stuff I have heard on that.
Well, it has like the stuff I used to watch was way worse than what's out nowadays.
Yeah. And
I can prove
me,
it.
some shit would be said and you would get heated. Or you would be like, what?
I used to watch Arby and the Chief.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that.
No clue.
Sanity Not Included.
Yep, I know that one.
Old school Red versus Blue.
Yep.
The old ones, the ones that I got in trouble for watching.
Happy Tree Friends.
Oh, that's cute though.
Is it though?
Yes.
Some of those are pretty gross.
I know.
And it was on Netflix for a while, I think.
Probably.
Because it couldn't be on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, I see your point with that one, though. Stop forcing us to conform to your conformist ideals, you conformist.
Allow people to think for themselves. If they want to fucking watch my video, then that's on them. If they want to get offended by watching my video, that's still on them.
Obviously.
But in that same regard, when people have an offense to things that I say, they were fully warned before they decided to watch any of my content. So, drop your offenses at the door and
Like,
fuck
do we
off.
need to put a jackass warning at the beginning of every episode of Out of Spite?
God, we're gonna say some shit that people don't agree with, you know, and we haven't had anyone like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But it'll happen the day it happens. I swear to God. That's something that grinds my gears, pisses me off.
Yeah, that's another thing you put in the topics. What grinds our gears?
Yeah, that pisses me off.
Is that your main one, or did you have
No.
something specific?
Something specific. So, I have the better part of a decade of marksmanship experience and shooting experience, weapon knowledge, weapon history. I am very much a precision marksman, and I have been for a lot of years.
Okay.
I hate when people start to question that and start to say things like, oh, you're not a professional, or start to like demean the knowledge and experience that I have in that particular subject.
Okay.
I was recently shooting with a buddy of mine, and well, not recently. This was a while ago, but I got to thinking about it again. And I had given some pointers on like how to shoot better and stuff, and he went off on me on how like all of my knowledge from the military is stupid, and the U.S. has the worst military in the world, and Germany is the best military, and all this shit.
They lost twice.
Yeah, right. No shit. Their track record ain't good. No. So I had to confirm with that person. I guess they should have known. They were a closer friend of mine. But I had to confirm with that fucking individual that none of my shooting knowledge comes from the military. That is not where I learned how to shoot. I learned how to shoot from professional shooting athletes, okay? People that actually do precision marksmanship. That's where all of my knowledge comes from.
Okay.
The stuff I learned when I was on my vacation in San Diego, I didn't even really learn any shooting knowledge from there because all the knowledge I had already gained was from some other more professional outfit. And I'm not saying that our military is the best at shooting or the best marksman or whatever, because they're not. And there is a big difference between combat and just trying to shoot accurately. So
I'm like remembering that scene. Have you ever seen Hacksaw Ridge?
yeah, yes.
Like that is the sound of an AK-47. It has a very specific sound when being fired at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm thinking of.
That specific sound is get the fuck out of there. I've had bullets whizzing over my head and stuff like that, and it is different. I've only ever had 5.56 whizzing over my head, but different calibers definitely sound different through the air. So I 100% believe that the AK has a distinct fucking bullet sound. So it's just I don't claim to be a professional of many things. Mainly because in order to be a professional at something, you had to have done it for over 5 years and you had to have been paid. I think that's what qualifies you as a professional.
I'm a professional asshole.
Yeah. So, like, I'm a professional audio engineer. I've been paid to do so, and I've done that since I was 16.
Should I start calling you Dan the audio engineer?
You can if you want to. I've been called that before. I've learned a lot in regards to audio engineering, and I've done a lot of professional shows and events and stuff to do with sound. So I claim to be a professional audio engineer. I also claim to be a professional precision marksman because that's what I am. I've been to many competitions. I've won a lot of awards. I've done a lot in order to consider myself that. And technically, I could say that I'm a professional musician, but I don't feel that I'm there.
Okay.
The only reason why I say technically is because I have played in bands and I have been paid to play, and I've done that for a couple of years, and I've been a musician for a lot longer, but I don't feel like my playing is professional per se, but I damn well think that my fucking shooting is because I can definitely back that up 100%. So
see what grinds my gears? Neighbors in general.
oh god, dude, these fucking people.
Yeah, I fucking hate neighbors in general. Just hate them.
I live in an apartment, so
I got no specific reason. Although the neighbors next door do have kids, and that kind of sucks. Because I gotta hear kids screaming all the time.
Yeah, these guys have kids.
GameStop when they don't have what I'm fucking looking for.
I hate when I walk into a GameStop and they don't have something. You're like, aren't you a fucking game store?
Yeah, I walk into GameStop and they had like almost nothing.
They were planning on shutting down, that's why.
No, they're not. That's the
No?
thing. There are no plans. I'm friends with the people who work there, and one of them was the manager, general manager.
Mm-hmm.
So they let me know about stuff.
Apparently, GameStop's going to start selling computer components.
Oh yeah, they're already starting that.
Finally.
Yeah, they're right now they're selling like they're selling keyboards, mouses, speakers, cameras, capture gear, things like that at this moment.
About fucking time.
But they did tell me that they are getting ready to start stocking up on things like RAM and audio cards and whatnot.
Yeah. It's about time. I think
Graphics
that's a huge
cards.
opportunity that they missed out on. Because although we can order all that shit online, it is still 100% more convenient to go into a store and get it same day.
Yeah, because I don't have to wait like a week to get it.
Yeah, that is always going to be an advantage with a store that carries anything.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you can just walk in there, get your shit, and walk out. Ordering online is nice for things that you can't get in town, but the things that you should be able to get in town, you're going to choose that over online any day.
You know, unless they don't have it in that case.
Then it's online. Yeah. Anyhow, that's what grinds my gears.
Yeah, GameStop not having shit that I'm looking for, going in and like asking for shit. Like, nope, we've been cleaned out. Like, all right. Oh shit, I'm starting to get hungry.
Yep.
And I am a little bit tired right now. I'm actually starting to get a fucking headache. God damn it.
All right.
But we have one more thing to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, Am I the Asshole? A segment that we actually do enjoy doing.
Let's just do the tattoo one.
Oh, no, you can go ahead and do yours first. And then I'll do mine.
Okay.
Let's get it done.
Okay. So, am I the asshole for breaking a lease even though I knew it would leave everyone else unable to pay the full rents and bills and without furniture? Based off of that title, yes. But there's always context, and so we're going to read the context.
All right.
So, this is a 21-year-old female made the incredibly stupid decision to move in with high school friends apparently 4 months ago. Prior to that, they lived...
I'm curious. Does she have friends that are in high school, or is it friends from high school?
I mean, move in with friends, with high school friends.
Oh, wait, nope, I see it. Okay, you can go on.
Okay.
It's actually
so prior to that, she lived interstate to do apprenticeship. I don't know what that means.
I did, and then you asked, and now I'm fucked.
I moved back home, back to her home city, to pursue a university degree. Now that she's a qualified electrician, apparently that's what her apprenticeship was. The only people I knew were people I knew from 4 years ago in high school, who happened to need a fourth person to go on a lease. It was a nightmare. For starters, they gave me the smallest room and yet expected me to pay more rent because I had a well-paying job. That's bullshit.
Yeah, first off, pay equal.
Yeah, you split that shit up evenly between all of them fuckers. I'm working part-time for an electrician company as one of their employees went part-time due to having a baby, and I'm also in a full-time university student. I guess that's what uni means. They never cook or clean in spite of eating whatever I made, so I would bulk cook for a week and find most of it gone. They also agreed we should all just get milk and bread for the house, but it was only me.
First off, you should have to pay less since you're the one doing most of the shit then.
Yeah. If they're going to do it on a tiered system, you shouldn't pay for food.
Yeah, if you're the one cooking it and everyone's eating it, they should at least pay for the ingredients.
They should pay for the ingredients and they should clean.
Yeah.
If I cook, you clean. That's the deal. On top of that, I was the only one with a license and a car, so they'd throw a fit if I didn't give them lifts places.
All right, well, that's their problem.
Yeah. It sucks to have people that don't have a car. It's fucking ridiculous. And I flat out tell people I don't give you fucking rides.
Yeah, you could call fucking Uber.
Don't call me for a fucking ride. I'm not.
Don't call me unless you're gonna pay me.
A bit of TMI, but they also decided that sex positivity meant making absolutely no effort to close doors.
That's not what that means.
Yeah, I don't think that's what that means. I think they all agreed that having sex in the apartment was okay, right? and then nobody like has some common decency to close the door while doing the act.
Yeah, I got it. You want to
Uh,
have sex? Go ahead. Just close the fucking door. I don't want to
yeah.
see it.
Also, don't be courteous. Okay. This is a problem that I had with my previous roommate. Him bringing some chick over from the bar that he got at like 1 in the morning, and them going at it while I have work at 6 in the morning. That's disrespectful. I don't care that y'all are doing it, but there's a time and place, and right now this ain't the fucking time.
He's got a vehicle. They can do it there.
Yeah. Um. Uh. When getting down and dirty, also okay. So no effort to close the doors when getting down and dirty. Also doing it on
Communal,
communal.
which was actually mine. I lived in an apartment previously and provided all the essentials.
Furniture.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she brought in. Okay, so it was her furniture and whatnot.
Yep. I'm no prudent, but I don't want it happening on my furniture without so much as a by your leave.
Well, okay, I
Without,
understand where she's coming from. I wouldn't want these people on my furniture either.
yeah, no, put a fucking towel down or something. But so by the end, I was cooking, cleaning, driving people places, living in the smallest room, and paying more than everyone else for food and rent. So I left. There's plenty.
There's a penalty.
There's a penalty for breaking the lease, but anything was worth paying to get out of there. I knew they'd get angry, so I did the preparation on the down low. Nice. Got another place lined up by myself, thankfully, and lined up a couple of workmates to help me move everything out. I told them everything 2 weeks before I scheduled the move, and they tried to talk me out of it. They kind of dropped it till my mates rocked up in the morning of the move with their van, at which point they lost it, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They said they hadn't thought I was serious and I couldn't do this to them, and they basically been calling me every name under the sun. Yeah, she gives
Ableist, classist, sex
shaming, and dragging me online. Oh, that's great. They're also fucking doing social media stuff. Am I the asshole for leaving them in this predicament? The furniture is mine, but I still feel kind of guilty. ETA. They're all on my home country's equivalent to benefits. Well, I study full time.
Well, they study full
One
time.
also works part time in a cafe.
No, you're not the asshole.
They study full time. Yeah, I don't know what etc. ETA. I don't know why she added ETA.
It's like just a thing like PS.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're not the asshole.
No, not in that circumstance.
No, they put you in. First off, they put you in the smallest room, and they ask you to do to pay more. No, that shouldn't be how that works. Second off, they're fucking on the furniture that you brought.
When I moved in with my roommate, I made it very clear to them that I was only going to do half the rent. If they were ever late on rent, they would have to get the fuck out. And we're going half on utilities. And as far as food went, though, food was a little different for me. I said, if I cook it, you have to clean after that. I didn't have any issue with buying the ingredients or anything like that. Just because I'm gonna eat it, and if you don't want to fucking eat what I'm cooking, then that's on you, and you have to go provide for yourself, right? So I didn't care. Yeah, I didn't care if they didn't buy the ingredients or what have you, which my roommate very seldomly did.
My problem with this is that she said not only is she the one cooking, she's cooking bulk for the week, meaning this is meals that are supposed to last all week.
Yeah.
And they're eating it like in the first couple days. I feel like at that point, if you're gonna do that, you should at least buy the ingredients.
My roommate was never late on rent, thankfully. They always paid the bills, thankfully. But my roommate was a piece of shit in that he thought he was very street smart and very hood and stuff like that, and he thought he could get one over on me, which he ended up not being able to. So when I moved in, the reason he was looking for a roommate is because the person he went in on the lease with had to move out because they found a better job or whatever and needed to move from the city to that job. So he was looking for someone else to go in and fulfill the remainder of the lease or whatever, you know. So I offered to, because at the time I was living with my folks and I was getting kind of tired of that. So I moved in with him, and like I said, I made it pretty clear to him that I'm not going to be helping him out per se. I'm going to just do my fair share, and that's me helping you out in this circumstance, because I don't think he could have found a different roommate. Now things started to go south, not quickly, but
gradually.
Gradually got to the point where like I started to realize this person's a piece of human garbage, right? So when I first moved in, all the utilities are under his name, which is fine with me, because that means if I don't pay, he's responsible for that, right? So I was always going to pay, but in the event that I couldn't pay, it's not my problem. Not that I think that way, and again, not that I was ever late on paying. He said that I couldn't join the lease, or I couldn't, say I lived here until that lease was up, because it was under a different person's name, right?
Fair enough.
Which made sense. That was fair to me, right? That lease was up in like a month or whatever, and then after that, at this particular apartment complex that we live at, you go month by month after that point, so you don't re-up a lease or anything like that. You just pay month by month, which is fine. That's actually a really awesome thing. We don't have to buy into a lease every fucking 2 years or whatever, or every year, or however long it takes. So the issue with that, though, is that his original roommate, and this is where he tried to get one over on me, and he tried to do this a couple of times, but again, I'm not stupid, and I kind of understand where he was trying to go with this. But so I wasn't on the lease agreement, so I didn't technically live here, and he got a girlfriend, right? And she ended up staying here a lot, which I was fine with. And the only reason why I was fine with it is because she cooked. She picked up after herself and him, which is something I wouldn't do. I don't want to pick up after him. I'm not.
Keep her as a fucking roommate.
Yeah, and he would never. The apartment just looked trash always. So I was fine with her living here, right? But where I wasn't fine with it is when he got the intelligent idea that he wanted to stay with this other individual here and kick me out, right? How he was going to do this is he was going to put her on the lease and say, this person's been staying here, I no longer want him here and I want them kicked out, which would have been legal to do because technically I never actually lived there. Now, I didn't catch wind of this because I didn't know that's where his mind was going, His girlfriend at the time was the one that told me, because she thought that was messed up to do. So she's a decent human being, and I'm friends with her to this day. She's a cool person. So she told me, you should go put your name on the lease and say that you live here before he decides to do something stupid and then fuck you over, right? And so that's what I did. I went and put my name on the lease without him knowing it. And then he went and tried to do his thing. And he was like, since when were you on the lease? That's weird. You're supposed... Then he tried to say that I was supposed to pay a security deposit because I joined the lease, which wasn't true, because he never told me I owed him a security deposit. And I never bought into a security deposit because I wasn't the person that was originally on the lease. So that means that his previous roommate and himself were the ones that bought the security deposit in order to live here, right? So that to me means that is a problem for you and your previous roommate to solve. Go fuck yourself. So when he moved out is when he brought up all this shit about me having to pay him the security deposit, which I said, no. And actually, you done fucked yourself because you no longer live here, so you're no longer on the agreement. And if there is a security deposit to be had, it's probably just going to go straight to me. Now, where I was going to be fair to him, which I'm no longer going to be fair to him because of his actions after, I told him, I don't care for the security deposit. So when I move out of here, I will gladly give that money to you. I didn't buy into it. I didn't pay into it. That money's not mine. That's kind of cheating. I kind of benefit from you not living here. So in my mind, that's not fair. He said that he needed the money now. He has court fees he has to pay. He has bills. He needs the money.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. So then I told him, well, it's not my fault you decided to live your life the way you lived it. And I don't owe you anything, actually. And in fact, you're no longer going to get that money. So you want to act childish, you can. If I ever see you on the premise, I will gladly shoot your ass. So my property managers know that he is not allowed anywhere on the property, and they're instructed to call the police if he does come on the property.
Wait, do you still live in that same apartment?
Yes.
Interesting.
This doesn't mean that I have a restraining order on him by any means or anything like that. But I have the right to my privacy, and if I don't want a certain individual near my property, I have the right to say that and make sure it gets handled properly.
Yeah.
Which sucks for him because he has some friends that live here. And so now they have to go to his shitty ass living quarters instead of him going to their nice apartment.
Well, he should have thought that one through.
Yeah, so I haven't seen him since. But yeah.
So I've already said not the asshole. What do you say?
Yeah, not the asshole.
Okay, what do other people say?
Don't tell me.
Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Yeah, everyone agrees with us.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. We have my not the asshole. Am I the asshole thing? Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole refusing to remove my tattoo for my girlfriend because of the name? Alright, I, 26 male, have been going with my girlfriend over a year. This is the first time she brings up being uncomfortable with it, and she didn't want to say anything before. So when I was 18, my ex-girlfriend and I had a baby boy. He was the most beautiful little boy I've ever seen, and so small. I loved him the minute he was born. My boy was born premature, and he was in the NICU. He didn't make it, though. It was hard, and it messed me up for a long time. Sometime after my son passed, I got his name tattooed on my chest with his birth date on it. My girl didn't see it right away, obviously, because I'd have to be shirtless for anyone to see it. I told her the story the first time she saw it. Now she says it's been bothering her for a while. Didn't want to say anything before because she thought she would get over it. The problem is my son's name is her ex's name, and he was horrible, like pure evil, and she went through a lot to get him out of her life permanently. So seeing me with his name on my chest always reminds her of him, and she's asking me to get it removed. My girlfriend says she knows it's my son's name and all, but the times when we were at the beach and I'm shirtless or we're showering together or about to get into it, she sees my tattoo and her mind goes to him. I told her I don't want to have it removed. It means something to me having my son's name on me because he's not a part of my life in any other way. Tried to be sincere and understanding because I know her ex was shit, but my girlfriend is still mad at me. She said she thought after being open and honest about her feelings that I'd take that into consideration, and I'm being an ass basically for not wanting to give her this comfort at least, but I don't know what I could do. My son's name happened to be her ex's too. We can't change that, and still like to keep my boy's name. Am I the asshole?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Firstly, this is your girlfriend. She's not your wife.
Yep.
Secondly, your son's dead. So you have, so to memorialize him, you get his name and birth date on your, as a tattoo. Understandable. Yep. It's not your fault that her ex is a piece of shit.
Yep. I don't think you're the asshole. And I think that she should be mature enough to start to see things and replace that name with a positive story. Not that it's a positive story in any means, but it's a story for each of you, which is positive for your relationship.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments and everyone's agreeing, and someone else put what is a really good thing is one, she doesn't have jurisdiction of your body. Two, your trauma and pain are just as valid as hers.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck her, by the way, for trying to think like you think, like she'd think you'd be understandable to her trauma.
She's kind of like gaslighting you in a way.
Eh, fuck her, dump her.
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't
you're
know
the
if
asshole.
it's a dumpable thing, but if she wants to leave you, then let her leave, dude.
If she's upset about that one thing, then yeah.
Yeah. That's a ridiculous thing to be upset about, in my opinion. I don't like my ex, right? And I don't want to hear their name, but my girlfriend's sister's name happens to be the same name that my ex had.
Sorry, your sister can't come here anymore. She has the same name as my ex, and it makes me uncomfortable. So if you could not see your sister, that'd be fine.
And I'm not saying that anytime I hear that name, the first thought in my mind is not of my ex. It is, and it probably will be for like the rest of my life. But
either that, or eventually you'll get so used to it that you replace that.
Yeah, you should start working on replacing that memory. I don't like that her name is the same, right? But it's not like I can go up to her and be like, hey, I don't like that, you should change that name. Or it's not like I go to my girlfriend, which would be, this second option is a little bit more realistic. It's not like I go up to my girlfriend and say, hey, instead of saying your sister's name, can you say something else, just because it reminds me of my ex. You know, that in of itself is still kind of a ridiculous thing to request of my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah, kind of.
So, and not only that, like, to get the tattoo removed, first off, that costs money and hurts.
Yeah, or even cover it up. Like,
again,
are you
costs
gonna pay
more
for
money.
the cover up?
Yeah, so
even if you're gonna pay for it, I don't think it's something that he should do.
yeah, and it's not something that's worth a cover up or getting removed.
Mm-hmm.
So, not the asshole. She's the asshole in this situation.
I don't know. I don't know what abbreviation means that you are the asshole, but any of these that I've read have said something about you.
NTA means not the asshole.
Right, I figured that much, but what does mean you are the asshole? NAH? What's that?
I don't know what that means. But hang on, I'm gonna Google this.
I guess NAH is the opposite.
What does that mean? Not assholes here. YTA is you're the asshole. NTA, you're not the asshole.
So not assholes here means that neither of you are assholes.
Yeah, and then the other one is ESH. Everyone sucks here. You're all assholes.
See, so I don't think I think both of their feelings are valid.
I think hers is unreasonable.
Her request is just ridiculous, especially because it's a tattoo. Tattoos are supposed to be permanent. It'd be different if it was like his ex's name.
Yeah, that's completely different.
But I don't want to involve the ex in this at all. It's his son's name.
Dead son's name.
Yeah, you know, it'd be different if he had the chick's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fact that it represents his son to him and not his ex, and not your fucking ex, means that you should start looking at that name as, this is my boyfriend's son. He loved him very dearly. He meant a lot to him. You know, I think that's the way that you should look at it.
Yeah.
And start to replace that negative connotation with the word, whatever the name is, and start putting some different spin on it. That would be the mature thing to do.
I think this is a good place to end the podcast here.
Yes.
We've been streaming for almost 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We will be rating someone, so you can stick around for that.